Hi everyone, I'm Cherie Kephart, and I'm going to read a piece from my memoir, A Few Minor Adjustments. This chapter is called Table for One. Bright lights covered the ceiling. I squinted. Without being able to lift my head, I looked from side to side, watching 3 different cardiac nurses move about. My frail body lay rigid on the cold metal operating table. My head, legs, and arms strapped down. Blood pressure monitor and numerous electrodes affixed to my chest and forehead. I felt like Frankenstein's monster. My cardiologist had mentioned this procedure several times. I didn't want to do it. One of the reasons I'd been so reluctant is that it is technically called an EP study, short for electrophysiological study. The word study always threw me. The point of the procedure was to explore, poke around in my heart, and try to replicate my extreme symptoms. Then, if they could find the right places, cauterize portions of my heart. A whole new meaning to heartburn. I focused my attention onto the bright lights above me and thought about the first marathon I'd ever run. Mile marker 24, only 2.2 to go, but it was 88 degrees. Dehydrated and hallucinating, I saw rainbows and waterfalls floating in waves. I reached out to touch them, but they disappeared, jolting me back to reality. I had hoped to finish in under 4 hours, but that wouldn't happen. How had I calculated so poorly? I had chosen the Alaska Marathon because I thought I'd have cool weather and nice scenery. Of course, on the date of the race, there was a heat wave, the hottest recorded temperature in the history of Anchorage. The wilderness looked beautiful, but it was so hot I barely noticed. A moose, you say? Unless he had a gallon of ice-cold Gatorade, I wasn't interested. My feet pounded on the hard ground, the sun blazed down on me, and there were 9 miles of trails in the middle of the race without any shade. I loved running on dirt paths and rocky terrain, but there were no aid stations, and I didn't carry a water bottle because someone told me there would be no need. Aid stations every single mile, they assured me. Not so. Aid stations every 2 miles, and none for 9 of it. It was too late by the time I exited the narrow single-track hills. The damage had been done. I tried to make up for the loss of fluids by grabbing 2 cups full of water as I ran past each new aid station, but it wasn't enough. Mile 25, a tunnel. I could see it and just needed to get around the corner. I shook, and dry, salty pathways covered my arms and legs. I turned the corner and saw the final mile on a steep incline. I had been warned about it. The veterans of the race called it Heartbreak Hill. No way, I can't do this. I'm stopping right here. I almost stopped when I saw a boy, about 5 years old, standing there cheering, smiling, and waving his hands. He made eye contact with me. His beautiful blue eyes shone bright with love. I looked straight at him, and I noticed his head, bald. Bandages covered his arms. I remembered that I wasn't running this race for me. I had raised over $3,000 to help people suffering from leukemia and lymphoma. I had never met anybody with leukemia before. I simply wanted to help. My purple shirt, a sign of my involvement, clung to my sweaty torso, my name written across in large block letters. The boy smiled. "Go, Cherie, you can do it," he yelled. Tears burst from my eyes. An uncontrollable wave of compassion almost knocked me forward. If this boy could endure chemotherapy, I could finish this last mile. I would do it for him. My feet moved quicker, endorphins surged, and I ran faster than I had during the entire race. Mile 26.2. I ran proudly across the finish line. As I took my final steps and accepted my medal, I said underneath my breath, "This is for you, little boy." I heard a door open and shut, bringing me back to the moment. The cardiologist had arrived, moving fast and fluid like a gazelle. He looked down at me and said, "Hello, Miss Kephart." His full pink lips matched his pink tie. "Hi, Dr. Energized. I'm ready." I felt both scared and relieved to see him. I drew a deep breath, and from the corner of my eye, I saw the anesthesiologist uncap her needle. Thank you.